What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rahilian and welcome to Planning the Expedition. Now today I would like to introduce to you a something new that I want to do for the month of July with the collector's bounty buff. um, Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Rahilian's expansion expedition. So next live stream that we do for Warcraft, we're going to be going through every expansion and either running dungeons and raids to try to make the most of this event and get the most drops that we possibly can. Now, I've already revised the list a little bit, so I already know basically what I'm going to be going for. Uh, just a couple ground rules for our runs. Obviously, raids we can only run once a week. Dungeons we can run in a lot, like double, like 10 times, something like that, 10 times a day. So ground rules are going to be, we're going to do 2 dungeon runs and then a raid. Like it'll be 1 raid and 2 dungeon runs. So I got no more exposition to dump. Let's get into it. Now already from the get-go, there's no mounts for any of these old classic raids. So now the only dungeon that gives off a mount would be Stratholme Service Entrance with Depth Charges Reigns. So we're gonna go ahead and be running that twice. Now moving on to Burning Crusade, Magister's Terrace. I already have the bird, so we're gonna be going over here to set the calls, running it on Heroic, and Reigns of the Raven Lord. I don't know if I feel like this is the only one. I feel like I checked all of them. Yeah, I had a feeling, so set the calls. We'll be running that one twice in Heroic to try to get Reigns of the Raven Lord. Now going over to the raids, of course, we're going to be running the Eye, and we're going to be running Karazhan. Now the goal is to try to do, we don't have time to run every single raid. If we do, I would do it. But I'm trying to get a little bit from every expansion. So we're going to be picking and choosing for the expansion, but not for BC. For BC, we're going to be running both the Eye and Karazhan. The Eye, of course, for Ashes of Valar, and Karazhan will be just running in and killing a Tumen. Now heading over to Wrath of the Lich King, we're going to be running Icecrown Citadel, of course, for Invincible, and we're going to be hitting all of these single, double, or triple boss raids. Nothing here. So Icecrown with Eye of Eternity, the Obsidian Sanctum, Onyxia's Lair, and Vault of Archivon. We'll be running Ulduar the week after. There's just 2 massive raids. So we'll just do it for this week like that. Each week the lineup is going to change except for the heavy hitters like the Eye and Icecrown Citadel. Now going over to dungeons, the only one that gives off a dungeon would be Utgard Pinnacle. So we're going to be running that one twice to try to get Reigns of the Blue Proto Drake. Now heading over to Cataclysm. We're already in the dungeons panel, so might as well just get that one out of the way. We're going to be running Zul'Gurub twice, or once if it lets us. I know Zul'Gurub is an old raid, so I know it depends on the loot rules, but we'll be running that one twice to try to get the Armored Razashi Raptor and the Swift Zulian Panther. Now heading over to the raids. The raid this week is going to be Firelands. Now Dragon Soul has some raids that has some mounts that I want to go for, but compared to Firelands, I would rather go for the Firelands mounts. So Flame Tannin of Alice Razor, and the Smoldering Egg of Milagazur. Now the good news is, guys, for Mists, we don't have to go for anything. During Remix, I went ahead and got all the mounts during the from the vendor, so we can go ahead and skip that one for this week. And the good news is that at this point, we're not going to be getting any... Oh, actually, my mistake. Let's head back to Cataclysm for a second. There's 2... Oh no, we did cover Zul'Gurub. The week after, we're probably going to go ahead and run Vortex Pinnacle and the Stone Core. Those both drop mounts. Like I said, for Mist, we don't have to do a remix. So Warlords of Draenor, the good news is there is no... It seems like there's no mounts for any of these dungeons here. So the raid that we're going to be hitting this week would be Hellfire Citadel. Blackrock Foundry has a mount as well, but it's alright. It's not the best to me. I could live without it. But compared to, I'm sorry, the Felsteel Annihilator, and no, I think it's just that Felsteel Annihilator. Perfect. And now heading over to Legion. Now, two things. We are getting a Legion remix, so I could skip this, but I very much want to run through them regardless and take advantage of this buff for the month. So the good news is same thing. Dungeons, there's not any dungeons that have mounts. So heading over to raids, I believe so. Yeah, none. Heading over to raids, we have the Nighthold, which drops Fiendish Hellfire Core and Living Inferno Core. Two more Sargeras drops an Abyss Worm. I think that's it. Yeah, it will be just the Abyss Worm. And then Antorus drops the Antoran Charhound and the Shackled Urzul. So, since we're not running a raid for Miss Pandaria, we're going to go ahead and run the Nighthold and Antorus. Tomb, again, it's kind of like Blackrock Foundry. I don't care too much about the Abyss Worm. I have something in its family that it's like the same type of mount, etc. Just want to make sure. Yeah, we good. Okay. Now heading over to Battle for Azeroth. This one's going to be a very easy pick. Now dungeon-wise, we could run... The only one I could think about running... Oh, wait, of course, Sharkbait. I forgot about Sharkbait, actually. I'll be honest with you. We're going to go ahead and run 2 dungeons for Battle for Azeroth. We'll run King's Rest for the Mummified Raptor Skull and Freehold for the Sharkbait's favorite crackers. Maybe in the week after we can run Underrot and the Motherlode, because this I believe counts as a drop and it is a mount, so we could go for that, and your boy here is an engineer. Now heading over to raids, it's going to be very easy. We're going to be running Battle of the Zara Lore this week. I know that Uldir probably has a mount. Or not, never mind. Neither does Eternal Palace. Nyalotha has the Nyalotha Alls here, but we're going to go ahead and just run Battle of the Zara Lore for this week. The time slot is going to be very big, so we have to make sure that we have time to run the first priorities, you know. So let's head over to Shadowlands, the last expansion. Now, as much as I don't fucking love this expansion, they do have some mounts in their dungeons and raids. Now, raids, we could hit either Sanctum of Domination or Sepulchre of the first ones. Now, the thing with Sepulchre of the first ones is, this is a nice mount, but number-wise, Sanctum of Domination has 2. The Death Charger's Reigns and the Vengeance's Reigns. Give me 2 seconds, guys, let me just clear my throat. Sorry about that, guys. And they do have some raids, some mounts here in the dungeons as well. We have Necrotic Wake with Marrowfang's Reigns. Tazavesh has the Cartel Master's Gear Glider. No mounts here. I believe that's it. I believe those are the only 2. So that will be it, guys. That's going to be our roadmap all the way from Classic to Shadowlands for the first week. Now, like I stated, there's going to be some unchangeables in the lineup, i.e. the Eye, Ice Crown, Warlords, Legion, BFA. Those are going to be like priority ones. Those are not going to change every week. Battle of the Zara Lore is just too nice. I want to get that Tidestorm out so bad, bro. So we're going to be going, that's going to be our roadmap for week 1, guys. I'm very excited to be live streaming and launching the expedition. Thank you for joining me here on planning the expedition, and I will see you guys when we launch the expedition. Please catch me on Twitch for when the expedition launches, and I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.